Hello, this video brought to you by Sankran, Visualforce Beyond Basics, reference element using dollar component. As you know, each Visualforce component have a ID attribute. Either you can pass them or Salesforce will generate them automatically for you. So when you have an ID attribute, normally you know that it's identifier. It has to be unique across the whole page. How does it achieved in Visualforce? For example, if you specify the same ID in two different components, for example, the ID is the block something. You have two different components developed by two different developers. They would have used the same ID. When you use those two components in your page, you don't know that they have used the same name. So in the same page, you will end up having the same ID two times. So how Visualforce solved it is it automatically generate ID for each component regardless of whether we provide it or we don't. How does it do? It generates through the component hierarchy. For example, if you have a page block, then page block section, then page block section item, you have three components in the hierarchy, right? It will cascade all these three with semicolon, with colon in between. Then it creates a ID in the form of, for example, this is the example where I had the page block, page, then page block, then the actual component, then all concatenated using colon values. So this will be the ID format automatically generated. So that's fine. But when we use this or when we refer the component, do we need to use the automatically generated? No, we can use it directly in Visualforce context. For example, in re-render attribute in in all action functions, you have a re-render attribute where you need to specify which ID you want to re-render. So in that case, you can refer them directly. Then Visualforce will interpret them automatically. And also one more example. There are so many places you can use ID directly. One more example is status in action functions, which will mention what is the action status. You can also use the ID directly there. Then what about in window context? What I mean is window context is in browser context where you have HTML page, CSS and JavaScript. How can you refer them? Because it's automatically generated. You don't want to hard code it because you don't know that tomorrow Salesforce might change their colon to something else. So you don't want to hard code it. But there is a global variable in Visualforce you can use called dollar component to refer the automatically generated ID. So where it will be useful, like I mentioned, if you want to use, if you want to refer a component in either HTML or CSS or JavaScript in your page, you can use the global variable dollar component directly to refer them. That's what I have illustrated in the code. So in the code, I have three sections. For one for dollar component in CSS, dollar component in HTML, dollar component in JavaScript to illustrate how it should be referred. In CSS, unfortunately, you need to use a substitute function to replace colon with backslash colon because as per CSS specification, colon is invalid character to be used in the ID value. So it won't work unless you use substitute. So this is small of workaround, but in my experience, it's really nothing. You could use apex variable to store this value and use it wherever you want. You don't need to have this lengthy line everywhere where you refer it. You can use apex variable to reuse the value. And then in HTML, you can use them directly. It's a simple case. I want to just show the ID values, so I have put like this. But if you want to do something with it, either do some formatting or display in some format, or if you want to do something, I mean, there could be some valid use case where you want to use in HTML. And then obviously in JavaScript, this is the most common use case where you want to refer the element in JavaScript. And as you using get element by ID, if you pass this ID, then you will get the reference to that element, and then you can obviously get the value or put some value, or you can delete them or hide them, or you can play with that, you can style them, or you can do whatever you want with that element after you get the uh, component reference. Let's see in the demo. Like I said, since I have used in CSS, it's been rendered properly, and I've used in HTML, and then I've also used in JavaScript. That's why you're seeing this dialog box. It's getting the value from this one and displaying in alert box. Don't forget to like this video and provide your comments or feedbacks below. If you like this video and want to share with friends, please share them, and if you want to notify about my future videos, please subscribe below. Thank you.